Assalamu alaikum students, how are you all? Welcome back to my channel Unlock English Success. So today we will be doing the exercise of unit number 3 Daffodils. In my previous video I have posted 2 videos regarding the question answers of Daffodils. As you all know very well that we are working on all the chapters of new English grade 9 textbook, okay, which is going to be published by PTB. And from now onward grade 9 students and pre-9 students will be studying this book. So if you want to get the question answers, you can watch my previous videos, okay. And next, today we will be doing the exercise. So let's start. So there are multiple choice questions over here. So the very first question is, what is the primary theme of the poem Daffodils? The power of love, the beauty of nature, the importance of friendship, or the struggles of life? Obviously the answer is option B, that is the beauty of nature. Okay. Next we have second question, that is, what natural element does the poet compare himself to the beginning of the poem? And if you remember the verse in which the poet was saying that I wandered lonely as a cloud, okay, so he was comparing himself to a cloud. So they have given us the options: a tree, a river, a cloud, a mountain. So our answer will be C option, that is a cloud. Okay. Next come to question number 3, where did the poet see the daffodils? So the answer will be, let's find out, beside a river, in a garden, beside a lake, on a mountain. So we all know the answer is C1, that is beside the lake. Next is the fourth question, that is, how does the poet describe the movement of the daffodils? So how the daffodils were moving: swaying in the wind, standing still, fluttering and dancing, falling to the ground. Okay, so they were swaying in the wind. And let's suppose if we see that they are asking us the movement of the daffodils and they compare the fluttering and dancing, okay, so the right answer will be fluttering and dancing. Okay. Next question number 5, to what does the poet compare the daffodils in terms of their continuous stretch? Okay, so in second stanza the poet compares the daffodils, their number will be the numberless or countless stars in the sky. So options are a flowing river, a starry night, a long road, and endless forest. So the answer is very obvious and clear, a starry night. Okay. How many daffodils does the poet estimate he saw at a glance? That when the poet watched or saw the daffodils, how many number they were? So options are hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, and hundreds of thousands. Answer is option number C, that is tens of thousands. Okay, 10,000. Which word best describes the poet's initial feeling before he sees the daffodils? Happy, lonely, excited, or angry? So obviously he was walking lonely, so the option will be B1, it's the answer. Okay. Question number 8, what effect do the daffodils have on the poet's mood when he later recalls them? And we know very well that whenever the poet is in pensive mood or alone or feeling sad, he recalls the memory of the daffodils and then he begins to enjoy. Okay, he feels happy. So let's see the options. A, they make him sad, they make him anxious, they bring him joy, they make him tired. So obviously the answer is C option, that is they bring him joy. Okay. Ninth one, what phrase does the poet use to describe his reflective movements about the daffodils? In a cheerful mood, in a vacant or pensive mood, in a thoughtful moment, or in a joyous state? Answer is B option, in a vacant or in pensive mood. Okay, pensive means thoughtful mood. Question number 10. Which line from the poem best conveys the lasting impact of the daffodils on the poet? Okay, what was the impact or effect on the daffodils on the poet? So let's see the answer. I wandered lonely as a cloud. It's not an impact. They stretched a never-ending line. No. And then my heart with pleasure fills. The waves beside them dance. Okay, the answer is C1. And then my heart with pleasure fills. Okay, so these multiple choice questions are done. Hopefully you are better aware of all the answers now. Let's move to the next part of the exercise. These are the word synonyms. We have to find out the denotative meanings. Okay, means the dictionary meanings, and then we will find out the connotative meanings. What is the sense of it? Next, they are giving us again some words in which we have to find out whether it is a positive connotation or a negative connotation. Gaze and stare. They both means to watch closely or keenly. So the gaze means a positive look and stare means a negative connotation. Okay, its sense is negative. Then shine and glare, both means very shine, bright, shimmery. So the shine will be positive connotation and glare will be negative connotation. Then hoard and collect, both have the same meaning, to collect something, but hoard is something negative, it has a negative connotation, and collect is positive connotation. Okay, let's move towards the next important part of your exercise, that is grammar, in which they are telling you about the different figurative language in the poem. Okay, figurative language or literary terms are such devices which writers use to beautify their piece of writings. Okay, they can also use in prose writing or poetry writing. So the very first one is simile. I have already told many times in my previous video about simile, but again today I will tell you simile is to make a comparison between two unlike things, but with the help of the word like or as. Okay, a figure of speech that compares two different things using the words like or as. Okay, example from the poem, I wandered lonely as a cloud. Okay, he was wandering lonely as a cloud, means he was comparing himself with the cloud, and this comparison is made with the word as, so it is a simile. Then comes a personification, a figure of speech that gives human quality to animals, objects or ideas. Okay, so obviously in this poem Daffodils, which is a living thing but not human, but the poet was describing that they were dancing and fluttering in the breeze, so that is a human quality which was given to daffodils. So this is an example of personification in this poem. Okay, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Next was hyperbole. Hyperbole means exaggeration. Okay, an exaggerated statement not meant to be taken literally, used for a great emphasis or effect. Okay, an example in the poem is that when the poet was saying that I saw 10,000 daffodils at a glance. So obviously it's an exaggerated word, so it means the use of hyperbole is used in the poem. Then comes the metaphor. Metaphor and simile are very much alike. Okay, they both used to compare two different unlike things, but metaphor is a little bit having different from simile, because a figure of speech that directly refers to one thing by mentioning another, implying as a symbolic comparison, means, let's suppose if I say that he was as brave as a lion, if I am comparing one person to a lion because of his bravery, then I'm using the simile. But if I say that he fought as a lion, or sorry, he was a lion in the war, or he proved to be a lion in the fight, so at that time I am converting the person to a lion, so it means it's an example of metaphor. So metaphor example in the poem is, they flashed upon that inward eye. Okay, the inward eye is a metaphor for the poet's memory or imagination, suggesting that the memory of the daffodils is vivid and striking. Then comes the alliteration. Alliteration is also a very you can say interesting kind of literary term, because it means that the repetition of consonant sound in a sentence. Okay, you all know that what are vowels, a, e, i, o, u, and remaining all the alphabets are called consonants. So the repetition of the same consonant sound at the beginning of adjacent or closely connected words. Let's suppose in this poem, if we find out example, beside the lake, beneath the trees. So you can see that B sound and B sound is mentioned in the same sentence. So this is an example of alliteration. Okay, beside the lake, beneath the trees. Then comes the assonance. Assonance is the same like alliteration, but the difference is that it is the repetition of vowel sound in the sentences. Okay, a host of golden daffodils. So you can see a host, O, golden, O, daffodils, O. So the repetition of vowel sound in a sentence is called assonance. Imagery. Imagery is very much important when a poet used to write something, because imagery is used to satisfy our five senses. Okay, such words are written in the piece of writing or the poems or the poetry which impresses or instigate our five senses, like sense of sight, sense of hearing, sense of touch, sense of smell, and sense of listening. Okay, descriptive language that appeals to the senses and creates mental image, like for example from the poem is continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way. Okay, so Wordsworth used visual imagery to describe the daffodils as a vast twinkling field similar to the stars in the night sky, enhancing the reader's visualization of the scene. Okay, so there are some question answers which I have already covered in my previous video. If you want the answers, you can go and find out the second video of daffodils. Okay, then comes again few multiple choice questions related to this part of grammar. Choose appropriate words and phrases for effect simile. The baby's skin was as soft as silk. Okay, answer is silk. Personification example we have to find out. The wind dashed through the trees whispering secrets. Okay, the wind and danced, stopped or ate. Obviously the danced. The wind danced through the trees whispering secrets. So it's a perfect example of personification. Okay, wind is whispering like human beings. Wind is dancing like human beings. Then hyperbole, exaggeration. I was so hungry I could eat a horse. Okay, vegetable, fruit and sandwiches are all normal things. So there's no exaggeration in it. So let's suppose if you want to create some dramatic effect in your writing, you can say like this: I was so hungry I could eat a horse. Then comes the imagery. The sky was painted with hues of pink and purple at the sunset. Okay, there are some other colors: green, blue, orange, purple. Orange can also be the answer, but the word pink is given, so pink and purple are matching. So the answer is D1. Then comes the metaphor. Time is a great healer. Answer is D1. Okay. Assonance, repetition of vowel sound. The lazy dash sat on a mat. It means a sound is repeating in the sentence, so the answer will be like matching this one. So cat. Okay, C is the right option. Sorry, this one. Alliteration, repetition of consonant sound. The cold, crisp dash snow crunched underfoot. The cold, C. Crisp, C. Crunch, C. Clean. Okay, the answer will be B1, clean. The cold, crisp, clean snow crunch underfoot. Then comes again some new terminology which is introduced by the Punjab textbook board in your new book. Euphemism and oxymoron. Okay, these are again you can say the literary terms. Euphemism. A euphemism is a mild or an indirect word or an expression substituted for one considered to be too harsh or blunt when referring to something unpleasant or embarrassing. Okay, obviously we are human beings and there are some harsh realities in the world, but we want to use some other sentences or words to lower the intensity of the sentences. So such transformation of sentences can be considered as euphemism. Okay, example is passed away instead of died. Let's suppose if I give an example that he died yesterday, instead of saying it harshly, I can use the word he passed away yesterday. Okay, another example, let go instead of fired. Okay, then comes senior citizen instead of old person. Without saying old person, we can use the word senior citizen. It is more polite and we can say a more positive sense. Uses and effects. Purposes. Euphemism are used to soften the impact of unpleasant information or to avoid offending or upsetting the audience. Then effect is they make communication more polite and can help to mitigate, to decrease, okay, emotional responses. Then comes the oxymoron. An oxymoron is a figure of speech in which apparently contradictory terms appear in conjunctions. Examples in general literature is bittersweet, means two opposite things are mentioned in some sentence. Bittersweet, deafening silence, jumbo shrimp. Okay, this is a perfect example of oxymoron. What is the purpose of this? Oxymoron is used to create dramatic effects, highlight complexities, or convey deeper meaning through contrast. Effect, they provoke thought and can emphasize the multifaceted nature of certain concept or situations. So if we find out there is no use of oxymoron and euphemism in Daffodils, okay, so we will see that the poem Daffodils does not contain euphemism because Wordsworth's language is direct and focused on the beauty and emotional impact of the natural scenes. There is no need to soften or indirect reference any harsh or uncomfortable topics. Oxymoron are also not present in the poem. The poem does not use oxymoron because Wordsworth aimed to create a harmonious and uplifting image of nature. The use of contradictory terms would conflict with the poem's tone and purpose, which is to celebrate the beauty and joy found in the natural world. Means poem is very much simple, the language is simple, the idea is simple, just to enjoy the nature, okay, and its beauty. So no more complexities to spoil its beauty. I hope our exercise is complete. Okay, but not yet, because another grammatical topic is still here, compound prepositions. Compound preposition means when there are usage of two or more prepositions combined together. Compound prepositions are phrases consisting of more than one word that function together as a single preposition. They often include words like in, on, at, for, to, of, with the other combined with another word or phrase, like according to, this means as stated by, due to, because of, in front of, on behalf of, in addition to, in spite of. Then read each sentence and underline the compound prepositions. According to the schedule, the meeting starts at 10 a.m. The answer is according to is here compound preposition. Next is the park is located in front of the library. Okay, in front of. She attended the conference on behalf of our manager. On behalf of. Okay. Due to the heavy traffic, we were late from school. Due to is compound preposition here. In addition to his academic work, he participates in sports. In addition to is preposition, a compound preposition. In spite of the rain, the match continued. So, in spite of is compound preposition here. Then they are asking you to make few sentences, which I hope all of you can create very easily. Next is the understanding prepositional phrases. What are prepositional phrases? A prepositional phrase consists of a preposition followed by a noun, a pronoun, or a noun phrase, which provide additional information about the time, location, direct cause, manner, or condition. Okay? Let's suppose examples they have given. Before the meeting, we should discuss the plan before the meeting. Okay? Here, before the meeting is our prepositional phrase. Then during the summer, she likes to travel during the summer. Then location in the park, on the table, direction to the store, towards the mountain, cause, because of, due to, manner with a smile or by hand, condition in case of or in the event of. Next, they are telling you that usage in the sentence, sometimes they are used as an ejective phrase and sometimes they are used as adverb phrase. Okay, ejective phrase means when the prepositional phrases describe some noun or tell us something more about a noun, then it will be called as ejective phrase. And let's suppose if they tell us about how an action or a work is being done, then we can say that it's an adverb phrase. She sang with joy. Now here it is prepositional phrase, but it is working as adverb phrase because it is telling us how she sang. He arrived after school. Then after school is another example of adverb phrase. Next, they are asking us to complete these sentences and we have to find out the prepositional phrase and then we have to tell the subcategory of it. Okay, prepositional phrase, and then we will tell that whether it's a ejective phrase or it's an adverb phrase. The very first sentence, the book on the shelf is mine. So the answer will be on the shelf. Okay, on the shelf is our prepositional phrase and it is working as a ejective phrase because it is describing the book. Okay, it's a ejective phrase because it's describing the book. Then comes she danced with grace. With grace is our prepositional phrase and additionally we can call it adverb phrase because it is telling us that how she danced. Okay, then comes the third one, they travel to the mountains. To the mountains, it is a prepositional phrase and in addition to it is the adverb phrase because it is telling us where they are going to travel. Okay, then comes the fourth one, the cat under the table is sleeping. Under the table is our prepositional phrase and in addition to it, it is ejective phrase because it is telling us about the cat. Then comes after dinner. He arrived after dinner. After dinner our prepositional phrase and additionally it is an adverb phrase because it is telling us that when he arrived. The last, the painting on the wall is beautiful. On the wall is our prepositional phrase. Okay, and it is ejective phrase because it is telling where the painting is hanging. Okay, so finally our exercise of daffodils unit number 3 is completed, alhamdulillah. Okay, so hopefully all of you have learned so many things in my video. So if you like it, please subscribe my channel and share my video to your friends. Please, Allah Hafiz.